Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist again, walking after the sup, paddling the sup. There might be a bit of background noise, but don't worry too much about that. One thing I know is for sure, and thank you for joining me, I'm in Gosford, the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Hey man, how are ya?
Alright, sir?
Yeah, good man. Got a touch. Hey. You can give people the answer to their problems, but that doesn't mean they're going to listen to what you're telling them at all. They may not want to hear the answers. And look at the beautiful colours on the water there. And it's not like you're trying to cause trouble, but usually you will. It's very confronting for some people, and include all of us, for all of us, not just some, but for all of us, to be told there's a few things that need to be fixed for a life to improve. We just might not want to hear it. Simple as that. And this can cause opposition. You might already have opposition with these people and say, well, fuck it. Sorry for swearing, but nah. I'm tired of your shit. This is the problem, and I'm happy to go, but I'm not going without telling you where you can improve. Because some people are just not going to stop. They're just not going to stop throwing it at you. And if the worst thing you have done is shown them something that's going to help them, and they don't get it, boo-hoo, right? Boo-hoo. Particularly if you have been supportive of that person and they just didn't want to turn their life around to a point where they wanted you to be a part of it. It's all happening here this afternoon at Gosford. If they can't calibrate themselves and just make some minor changes to take away hostility or bring unity or harmony, and these are usually people that say they want peace, then they haven't got the value for you. They don't know how to find that. They've been abused for too long in past relationships. So now it's a matter of how much abuse you're going to take. How much abuse are you prepared to put up with before you go, no, I'm sorry, you're maladjusting. You're not calibrating into the idealism that we had at the start of the relationship. As a matter of fact, you're going backwards. And this is all too common. They call it the devaluation stage. It's the devaluation phase in that person's mind relative to probably their narcissistic substructure or unresolved. If you're bringing up matters that really need resolve and they're not facing it, that is going to be the beginning of the end. And sometimes the person that needs to find resolve doesn't go there because it's going to be causing trouble for a family member. So they don't want to move on it because it's going to cause more trouble than it's worth. So then they're relying on your tolerance. And in the last two cases for me, it was just completely out of order. I tolerated one lot for 3 months, the last one for 9 months. And it was just all maladaptive at my expense. I was never hostile to anyone. Of course, you're going to get the smear campaign at the end of the relationship and all that rubbish. You got to expect that. Okay? You're already being smeared before the end of the relationship and possibly betrayed. There could be an emotional relationship, particularly if there's emotional enmeshment going on within the family. You're going to be getting hammered. If you were a fly on the wall, you'd be shocked. That's the bottom line of that. And that's why these people are distant, and that's why these people just don't last. Now, it's not all about making the relationship the be-all and end-all. No, that's just selfish. But what it is about is harmony. And harmony only comes through resolve. Resolve is the shark tooth. Unresolved is the shark tooth in the surfboard. Resolve is the stitches in the leg after the shark bite. If you don't fix that wound, the patient dies. The victim dies. And you think about it for a minute. If you can survive a shark attack, that's God's on your side. That's for sure. You're probably tired of it, but I'm going to keep on it. Resolve is the key to the essence and intimacy and longevity and closeness in a relationship, because resolve brings closeness. It's an action that says I care. But when a person's trapped, having to face, say, a family member that they've given too much authority to, then that really is going to sabotage the pathway to resolve. Because if somebody's made up their mind about you and it's all he's bad and look what he's done to me, but really all they're saying is he's taken your attention away from me, kind of thing. And I've seen this with grown golden sons, 20, 25, whatever. They won't relent. They're going to take you out. Ask their mothers. If you could sit down and speak to their mothers about what was going on behind closed doors, you would have no idea. And none of it had anything to do with you. But guess who was the psychological punching bag in the spirit realm? You. You. Because these malignant, covert narcissists, right, that are enmeshed tribally or by family, just enmeshed. They're usually on substances and medications and recreational drugs and alcohol and stuff, trying to find a way out of all the unresolved, right? Because they're smothered in it. And I've seen the single mother partners that I've had try to find a way out of it, but they can't, because they're dealing with their own children. And for a lot of these single mothers, they've got too much security put away into their children hanging around. And there's never any guarantee of that. A lot of these children, when they realise that the mothers sabotage their lives, estrange them. Oh, there's silent treatment, there's stonewalling, there's passive-aggressive abuse and all this going on. And they learn it off the parents. Most stuff's learnt from the parents, because the children watch the parents' behaviour and then want to match it. And that's how it works. Most of it's from the parents. With a little bit of a twist from the children's individuality. Kimmy, good on you, love. And it's sad, because it doesn't need to be that way. It really doesn't. The parents causing passivity in the mind and the heart of the children, because they become over-reliant on the parent. The parent now sabotages their relationship because they just don't want to fully commit, because they feel like they're betraying the children, the adult children, be it daughter or son, depending on the combination. I always say depending on the combination, because this is tribal enmeshment. Tribal emotional enmeshment is combinational. Father, daughter, mother, son. It's combinational. And if things have come to a head and you've gone, look, I'm really sorry, but this is emotional incest or emotional enmeshment or tribal enmeshment, whatever you want to call it, it's not healthy, it's all abuse, then it's on them. It's just on them. That's all there is to it. Beautiful city, isn't it, Gosford? It's only a small city, but you can really, really get a lot out of it if you like the outdoors. And I'm an outdoor sportsman, so yeah, that works for me. So if you've explained to these people what the issue is, whether they want to take it or leave it is on them, completely on them. We're on the roadside now, and we'll come back over here. I just don't like filming the public because some people get upset. It's completely on them. Were you malicious in the way that you said, look, I'm leaving because this is what I feel? Probably not. You probably had the shits at the time and that's justified. You get driven to the point where this person's just not helping you with your mental health anymore. It's actually affecting it. And there's a duck there. That's called a cormorant. He looks tired. That's a cormorant. There you go. It's an Australian wildlife. He's tired. He's probably been feeding I'll see if I can get out to him. Nah, this won't widen. Sorry, viewers. But he's probably been feeding and he's having a rest. Because when they're not helping you with your mind, which is part of what a relationship is, when they're actually bringing you down because of unresolved, and that may not be malicious either. The person's just in a situation that they're not prepared to deal with. They're prepared to lose a relationship rather than deal with the issue. This happens all the time, and this is the new trend. You get driven to the point where you think this person's just maladaptive, they're not going to And then right at the end the last one come up with a solution that was just, that was the last straw for me. I just went, nah. So maladaptive behaviour is going to cause trauma. It will catch up with you, 100%. And it has to be resolved. There has to be boundaries. There has to be resolve. And unfortunately, guess what? Sometimes that resolve is walking away. Sometimes you just have to say, look, I'm sorry. I've done my best. I've tried my hardest. I've given 3, 6, 9 months, which is way too much, to the situation. I don't think the solution that you've come up with is a solution, actually, in both cases. In the marriage, it was the son taking over the house, and in the last relationship, it was going to a family event together with people that I couldn't even go down and sit with my girlfriend and have a cup of tea. It was just ludicrous. I couldn't believe it. That was the end. I just thought, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. Relationship gone. And that's hard, because it wasn't a breakup relative to an affair or relative to something evil. I just had enough. I felt like I was being demasculinized by this triangulation. That was the worst part, feeling demasculinized. I didn't like that feeling, and I'll never, ever, ever get to that point again. It's just not healthy. And at that point, for those people who were enmeshed and that wasn't going to change, it was better just to leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them to the way they live. Leave them to the way they are. You're just too much. I was too much for them. I could see too much, and I was prepared to voice it. And that was just conflictive, because these people were used to, well, I don't know how used they were to being corrected or shown the right way, but they definitely didn't like where I was coming from. She tried, but she was stuck. So none of it's about judgment. It's just about peace of mind and where you want to end up in your life. How much time you want to put into the situation that you're in, and is it profitable? Is it giving a return? And if it's not giving a return, guess what you need to do? You need to walk away. You need to walk away. For the benefit of the people that can't adapt, and for the benefit of your own mental health. You're with Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison on the Pro Brick exclusive YouTube channel and the Pro Theologist channel, speaking on relationships, situation or fact. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.